everyone, my name is Desola. I'm a fashion designer and you are welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Daisy's Wardrobe. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're an existing subscriber, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And if you've seen my videos before and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And put on the notification bell so that you know when I put up a new video. I'm an African-inspired ready-to-wear fashion designer, fashion mentor, based here in Lagos, Nigeria, and I've been in business for over 10 years. So here on my channel, I talk about being a fashion designer, starting a fashion business, starting a ready-to-wear business, all things business, all things fashion, and sometimes, once in a while, I talk about my life. So today's video is more like a story time because I'll just be talking about how I transitioned from a corporate job to becoming a fashion designer. So if you're new to my channel, I'm sure you have a little bit of a backstory of how I started my business because I run a ready-to-wear clothing business for women, and I have a video on my channel where I talk about how I started my ready-to-wear business. But in this video, I'll be talking about how I became a fashion designer after quitting my corporate job. Like I said, I'm an African-inspired ready-to-wear fashion designer. I've been a fashion designer for the past 11 years. I own a clothing brand called Daisy's Wardrobe, and Daisy's Wardrobe sells African-inspired women's clothing. I've been in business for 11 years. So transitioning from my corporate job to becoming a fashion designer has been a lifelong journey for me and a very, very interesting journey with loads of different things that have happened along the way. So today in this video, I'll be talking about how I transitioned. So if you are someone that you are currently doing a kind of job, currently doing something, and you're looking to transition into becoming a fashion designer, you may want to listen to what I have to say about my own life and pick a thing or two that may be helpful to you. So I'll give you a background into my education. So I have a degree in business economics and I have a master's in criminology and criminal justice. Don't worry, I know that the shift in courses kind of like sound funny, but yeah, that's me. And after I finished my master's, I got a job in a financial institution, one of the financial institutions in Nigeria, and I was there for quite a number of years. For most people, I'm sure you can relate, when we are kids or when we are growing up, our parents want us to study certain things and become certain things in our lives. And sometimes, and I don't even know what I'd say, majority of the time, it doesn't even turn out that way. And sometimes things turn out the way our parents desire, but sometimes it doesn't turn out the way our parents desire. So for the most part of my life, what my parents wanted was what I did, and pursuing a corporate career was what they wanted for me. But along the line, it wasn't really what I wanted. From when I was in primary school, I have always loved art. I used to draw very, very well. I was really good at drawing. I was very good at still life drawing. Still life drawing is when you put an object before you and then you sketch. And I did very, very well, in my fine art. But my parents or my mom thought, what would I do with fine art? Why am I so interested in fine art? Because then it was either you were studying to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer or something. But I never ever had any interest in doing any of those things. But fast forward to my future life, years down the line, I find myself in a corporate job, and I was there for a couple of years. And while I was there, it was good while it was good. But as time went by, I just felt that I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And especially after, or let me just say, as I was moving towards getting married, I started to realize that this wasn't really what I wanted. I wanted something different completely. I discussed it with my fiance as at the time, which is now my husband, and he's the kind of person that he understands when you have a vision, when you have a dream, even though he doesn't understand, he would say, okay. And when I told him at the time, he was like, okay, if that's what you want to do, let's see how it goes. So I told my parents that, as soon as I get married, I'm going to leave my job and pursue my career as a fashion designer. My parents, my dad was very open minded. My mom wasn't necessarily very open minded about it, but I found out that as soon as I got married, a few weeks into my marriage, I got pregnant and I was like, ugh, can I still do this? Can I still do this? And the thing was, everyone said to me that you can't leave your job now. You're pregnant, you're expecting a baby, you know, it's very risky to leave your job and pursue a career path that you don't even know if things are going to work or not. But I decided to hold on to my job regardless. So I was working and I was learning because I enrolled in fashion school. So I was working at the same time and I was learning how to sew at the same time with my baby bump. I did that for the whole length of my pregnancy. It was very, very stressful. It was very strenuous because I would work from Monday to Friday, and on Saturdays, public holidays, and whenever I had any leave from work, I would go to fashion school and do my tailoring lessons from early in the morning till late in the evening. So it was very stressful on me, but I was very persistent. I was very determined. I wasn't sure and I didn't know what the outcome would be, but I knew that this was what I wanted. This was what I wanted to do. A few weeks before my pregnancy, I decided to stop my fashion school because I was going to be due in a couple of weeks. So I put everything on pause until after the baby. So after the baby, I had some challenges with the baby, and you know, it took a lot from my husband and I, took a lot of our resources, and the way I wanted to start my business was not the way I started. But the other things I wanted to do regarding fashion design, I couldn't. So I decided to, you know, continue with my job and at the same time see how I can start this fashion business in a very small way. Considering the fact that I hadn't finished my fashion school, I hadn't gotten my certificate, I hadn't done all those kind of things. And when my baby was fine and okay and well, I continued to pursue my dream and desire of being a fashion designer. And I looked at the resources I had. Most of my savings had been eroded because I was paying so much to learn from fashion school and life had just been happening. So my savings had gone really, really low. And I said to myself, if I don't start now, I'm never going to have the right time to start. So I started looking for spaces to start a tailoring shop. That was the whole idea, to start a tailoring shop. So I started looking for spaces here and there. Eventually, I found a very small space. I was comfortable with it, I was okay with it. And I rented the space while I was still working because I didn't have the budget to equip the space. So I continued working. I was gradually doing all these things until everything was complete. By the time it was complete, I realized that I wasn't very good at sewing and I decided to employ somebody. I employed someone and the person was working for me. But I didn't really have a lot of customers because I couldn't really face the business the way I would want to face the business. So here I was in my corporate job with a brand new 3-month-old baby, a new business, and still a new wife slash mother. It was really, really tough. It was challenging, but I was very determined that, I knew what I wanted. Even though I wasn't very clear, I didn't have a lot of clarity about what I wanted, but I knew that this was the route in which I wanted to go. As time went by, I continued to realize that I wasn't getting any fulfillment from the job. I was closing late, and when I say late, I'm closing like really, really late hours. Working long hours, closing very late, picking up my daughter from the creche very, very late, getting home very late. It was just so stressful. It was such a burden on me. And I woke up one day and I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm just going to take my chances and see what happens. I'm going to put everything that I have into this business that I have just started. A lot of people were scared for me. My parents were scared. My husband, he wasn't scared, but he was a bit worried, like, leaving your job. My siblings were like, some of them even said, are you sure you want to leave the corporate world? You may never be able to go back and get a corporate job again. But I was like, you know what? So be it. I'm going to leave this job, face my baby, face this business squarely. And because of the doubts that people had, and because of the little lingering fear, I can call it cold feet, that I had, it really, really propelled me and pushed me to work really, really, really hard. I had to make it work. I had a lot at stake. So I really needed to make things happen. I started the business, and to my surprise, within 6 months, things started taking shape. Within a year, I had made up my mind on what exactly it was I wanted to do. And that was making clothes, making my own designs, and selling my own designs, as to people giving me their designs to sew for them, which on this side we call it custom clothing, that's made to measure. I decided to do ready to wear. Ready to wear standardized clothing that come in sizes that are ready for you to buy immediately. So I made up my mind that that was what I wanted to do, and that is what I have done since then. The journey wasn't necessarily the easiest journey. If I go into all the details, this video will be too long, but from the little I've said, you get the gist. The journey was somehow up, down, up, down, up, down, but I'm very grateful that things turned out very well. A few years into the business, I had to go back again to go and learn how to sew and perfect my skills. And I didn't go back to fashion school. I wanted to be more practical with my learning. I wanted to really, really know about the practical side of constructing a garment. I went on to learn in a tailoring shop, so I apprenticed at a tailoring shop. There I learned quite a lot of things, and also I learned a lot on the job. So yes, I was running my business and I was also being an apprentice to someone. That is another difficult aspect or another challenging aspect of my life that I had to go through. It was really, really tough, juggling both of them at the same time. But yes, I did it. But in all my learning, majority of the things I know, about 85-90% of everything I know about being a fashion designer, I learned on the job. And the thing about fashion design is that it's an ongoing process. You can't just say, oh, I know how to make this today, I'm very good at this, and that's the end of it. You have to keep on learning, you have to keep on improving yourself, you have to keep on building yourself, building your skills, your knowledge about fashion design. That's what makes you a very good fashion designer, and that is a lot of the time what makes you successful. So 11 years down the line, here I am. I'm still a fashion designer with my own clothing brand, my own ready-to-wear clothing brand. And yes, I will consider myself successful. I've done very well for myself in the last 11 years. The journey hasn't necessarily been the easiest, but through all the challenges and all the mistakes I have made, I have learned so much. I have learned so much. I can't trade it for anything in the world. There's no amount of money that will pay for the experience that I have gained and all the knowledge that I've gained from the last 11 years. It's always good to follow your dreams, follow your passion, but when you start a business, you come to realize that when the tough times come, it is your passion for what you do that would get you through the tough times, not necessarily how good you are. If you are very good at sewing, garment construction, all the likes, you may be very good, but you may not necessarily have a passion for what you do. The passion is what is going to keep you going. Your passion is what's going to keep you motivated, even when things are not working, even when things are not going according to plan. Your passion is what is going to keep you and keep the fire burning inside of you. And also, because of the passion I have for what I do, is also one of the reasons why I started this channel. I started this channel during the lockdown and realized that people were very interested in what I do. And looking back at how I started, I never knew anybody who was a fashion designer. I didn't know anybody to give me pointers or direction or coaching or mentoring in whatever form. I just went ahead and started a business, became a fashion designer. And from all my experience and my knowledge, I share on my channel. And the thing is, if I had a coach or a mentor to mentor me when I started or along the line while I was running my business, things that took me 4, 5, 6 years to achieve would have taken me 1 to 2 years to achieve. That's the benefit of having a mentor, having a coach, all that kind of things. And I'm very, very happy that my channel blesses people that want to become fashion designers. It makes me very happy that at least I'm adding value to some people's lives. If you're looking for a mentor or you want to have a one-on-one mentoring session with me, you can click the link in the description and instructions will follow on what to do from there. So my video for today is done. If you enjoyed watching my video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and put on the notification bell so that you know when I put up a new video. And so I will see you soon. Bye.